And away from the war front, trouble continues to mount for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In the latest setback at home, Israel's Supreme Court has struck down a controversial law passed by the Netanyahu administration. Well, on Monday, the Supreme Court ruled 8-7 in favor of striking down a contentious law that had triggered countrywide demonstration for months. The new legislation passed by Israel's right-wing government had weakened the judicial powers. The provision had struck down on the Supreme Court's ability to quash certain government decisions. The law was a part of a judicial overhaul which led to massive demonstrations across Israel for 39 weeks. Well, thousands of Israelis took to the streets every Saturday against the law, protesting against Netanyahu's move to weaken the judicial system that critics feared would severely undermine Israel's democratic institutions. The Prime Minister's party has called the Supreme Court's decision to strike down a provision of the judicial overhaul, and I'm quoting here, opposition to the nation's desire for unity, especially at a time of war. Well, Israel's Justice Minister has also slammed the verdict, accusing the top court, and I'm quoting again, taking into their hands all the powers. The court ruling comes as a major setback for Netanyahu, as the leader is currently in the middle of a corruption trial. The proceedings had earlier paused after the deadly October 7th attack, but the trial resumed on December 4th. Netanyahu is facing a slew of charges, including fraud, bribery, and breach of trust, in 3 different cases which were filed in 2019. With the Supreme Court thwarting the Netanyahu government's attempt to dilute judicial power, there remains concerns over how the simmering constitutional crisis plays out for Israel's longest-serving prime minister.
אנחנו במלחמה על קיומנו. במלחמה זו.
And for more on the story, we're earlier joined by Colonel Rich Outson from Washington, D.C. This is what he had to say on this. Take a look.
The timing of this is interesting. Of course, the judicial calendar does not always line up with the geopolitical calendar. And the fact that Israel is engaged in a major conflict at the moment, the war in Gaza, at the time that this comes to fruition, this new judicial decision, is a sensitive matter. I think most Israelis are united in wanting to see Israel take care of its security concerns with regards to Hamas and its ability to attack Israel and conduct terror operations. And yet, the majority of the Israeli population was also very much against this judicial reform. So I think in a democracy, it's messy. And I think that what we see coming out now is not necessarily going to sway the course of the conflict that we see, but it is definitely swaying the course of Netanyahu and his coalition's ambition for this radical judicial reform they've been pushing for.